Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news, all right, guys. Let's talk about something that's been buzzing around the NFL circles lately. Rumors and speculation that might just shake up the entire AFC North, and more specifically, give the Steelers a serious boost in their quest for Super Bowl glory. The buzz is all about a potential trade involving Trent McDuffie, the talented cornerback from the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Is this really happening? Is McDuffie heading to Pittsburgh? Well, let's break it down because there's a lot of moving parts here, and it's worth paying close attention to. First, the context. The Chiefs are currently sitting at 5-5, not exactly where they want to be after winning the Super Bowl just a few seasons ago. Their cap situation is tight, around $15 million, and they've got some pressing needs, especially on the offensive line. Kansas City is known for prioritizing their Super Bowl window, and with the 2027 draft pick potentially on the table, it looks like they're considering some bold moves. According to sources, the Chiefs are contemplating trading Trent McDuffie, a versatile and highly regarded cornerback, in exchange for a first-round pick in 2027. Why? Well, there's a focus on extending deals for Patrick Mahomes' weapons, and cap space is limited. So trading McDuffie could free up some cash and draft capital to bolster their offense. But what makes McDuffie so valuable? For starters, he's a lockdown CB, a guy who can shadow the opponent's best receiver and make life miserable for quarterbacks. His career stats are impressive: over 150 tackles, 5 interceptions, and a PFF grade of 87. 6, he allows a completion rate of only 55%, and he covers with a mere 0.8 yards per target. Those are elite numbers. In the 2025 season, McDuffie played 10 games, racking up 35 solo tackles, 15 assists, and forcing 1 interception that he returned for some yardage. His EPA per pass is 22, which indicates he's effectively shutting down the passing game when he's on the field. What's more, he's shown the ability to excel in man coverage, with an 80% success rate, similar to some of the top corners in the league. When you compare him to someone like Jalen Ramsey, who's had a huge impact on the Rams and Dolphins' defenses, McDuffie's role as a shadow corner has been just as impactful, limiting top receivers to under 40 yards per game. Now, why would the Steelers be interested? Well, our secondary has been a bit banged up this year, and we've been struggling against the pass. Opponents are averaging around 200 yards per game through the air, which isn't terrible but certainly not what we want. If we could add a player like McDuffie, that number could drop closer to 160 yards per game. That's a significant reduction, and it would immediately elevate our pass defense to another level. Plus, adding someone of McDuffie's caliber could increase our pass defense EPA by around 15%, meaning we'd be better at preventing big plays and forcing turnovers. Imagine the impact: more INTs, more chances for turnovers, and that could be the difference between a deep playoff run or an early exit. What makes this even more intriguing is the potential financial aspect. Kansas City, with its current cap situation and their need to address offensive line issues, might see this as an opportunity to get some value in return. Trading McDuffie, especially given his current trajectory and high PFF grade, could net them a first-round pick that could be used to bolster their future roster. The Chiefs are somewhat cautious about injuries in the secondary, which adds a layer of risk to keeping McDuffie long-term, especially if they're eyeing future signings or extensions. Moving him now could be a strategic move to maximize value before his price skyrockets in the next couple of seasons. For the Steelers, this trade could be a game-changer. We're currently sitting at 6-4, with a secondary that has seen better days. Adding McDuffie could instantly improve our coverage and help us contend against the top offenses in the league. His ability to reduce passing yards allowed and increase turnovers aligns perfectly with what we need to push for that playoff spot and make a serious run. Think about it. If McDuffie can deliver the kind of impact he's shown in Kansas City, he could be the piece that finally unlocks our secondary and makes us a more complete team. Of course, there are skeptics. Some are worried about injuries in the Chiefs' secondary, which has made them cautious. They might see McDuffie as a trade chip rather than a long-term piece, especially if they believe they can draft or develop someone else. The financial side is also tricky. Kansas City needs cap space, and trading McDuffie could free up around $10 million, which they can redirect to other areas like the offensive line or extending Mahomes' weapons. Now, let's talk about the big picture for the Steelers. If this trade happens, it would send a clear message that Pittsburgh is serious about contending right now. We've seen the importance of a lockdown corner in today's NFL. Just look at what Ramsey has done with the Rams and Dolphins. McDuffie, with his versatility and proven production, could serve as our own version of that impact player. His ability to cover top receivers and limit big plays would take a lot of pressure off our safeties and linebackers, allowing them to play more aggressively and create turnovers. Plus, considering the trajectory of our season, where we're fighting for a playoff spot, adding a player like McDuffie could be the X factor we need. Our pass defense needs that elite shutdown corner, and McDuffie fits the bill perfectly. He's young, ascending, and has already shown he can handle top receivers in the league. With a little more experience, he could become a cornerstone of our defense for years to come. The Steelers have a rich history of developing top-tier defensive backs, and this could be another chapter in that legacy. Looking ahead, if the Steelers were to make a move for McDuffie, it would likely involve some draft capital and perhaps a player swap or a conditional pick. It's a bold move, but one that could pay dividends. Our current secondary allows opponents to complete about 60% of their passes, which is decent but not enough against the league's best QBs. With McDuffie, we could reduce that completion percentage by around 5%, leading to more turnovers and fewer big plays allowed. This type of upgrade could be the difference in those tight games that often decide playoff positioning. Moreover, the trade would send a strong message to the rest of the league that the Steelers are not just content to compete, they're looking to dominate. The AFC North is becoming more competitive each year, with teams like Cincinnati and Baltimore continuously improving. Securing a player like McDuffie would help us stay ahead of the curve and establish a defensive identity that's hard to beat. Our fans have witnessed the importance of a stout secondary in past seasons, and adding McDuffie would remind everyone that Pittsburgh is still a defensive powerhouse capable of making things difficult for even the most explosive offenses. So what's the mood among Steelers fans right now? Excitement, caution, hope. Honestly, it's a mix of all three. We've seen how a game-changing player on defense can turn the tide of a season. Look back at the impact Stephon Gilmore had when he joined the Cowboys. His presence made a noticeable difference, and that's exactly the kind of impact we're hoping McDuffie could bring if he comes to our city. It's about building a defense that strikes fear into opponents, that forces turnovers, and that finally gives us that elite shutdown corner we've been searching for. In terms of the division, this move could also shake things up in the AFC North. The Bengals are still dangerous, and Baltimore, with their aggressive defense, will be looking to stay on top. A Steelers secondary fortified with a player like McDuffie could disrupt the rhythm of these rivals, making it even harder for them to move the chains and score points. It's all about gaining an edge, and if the Steelers can pull this off, it could be a game changer for our entire season outlook. Of course, nothing is guaranteed in the NFL, and trades always come with risks. But the potential rewards are huge. We're talking about a guy who's still young, still ascending, and who could be a cornerstone in our secondary for years. The question is whether the Steelers' front office sees this as the right move, whether they believe that adding McDuffie now can push us over the top and help finally get back to a Super Bowl. Given how competitive the league has become, it's a move that could define the next chapter of Steelers football. And remember, folks, this is just speculation for now. But the NFL is a league of surprises, and we all know how quickly things can change. The Steelers have always been about smart, strategic moves, building through the draft, making impactful trades, and most importantly, never settling for less than excellence. If this deal goes through, you can bet your Steelers gear that it will be a move that gets fans buzzing and opponents taking notice. So stay tuned, because the upcoming weeks could bring some serious fireworks. Whether it's this trade or another strategic move, the Steelers are always in the mix. And with a talented team, a passionate fan base, and a front office that's no stranger to bold decisions, we're set up for an exciting ride ahead. We're all about chasing that next Super Bowl, and moves like this could be the key to unlocking that elusive championship. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Do you think this trade could be the move that finally gets us over the hump? Are you excited about the possibility of adding someone like McDuffie to our defense? Or do you have concerns about how it might affect team chemistry or cap space? Whatever your thoughts, we want to hear them. Remember, every opinion counts, and your voice is part of what makes this Steelers family so strong. As always, I'll be back soon with more updates, analysis, and insights into the Steelers season. We're in the thick of it now, and every game, every move is critical in shaping our path toward the playoffs, and hopefully that ultimate goal, another Super Bowl victory for the black and gold. So stay tuned, stay passionate, and let's keep pushing forward together. Here's to a bright future for our Steelers, and to the possibility that this rumored trade could be exactly what we need to make history once again. Thanks for riding along with me today, Steelers Nation. Keep the faith, stay loud, and let's get ready for whatever's next. Because at the end of the day, we're all in this together. Together, we're unstoppable. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news.